Very warm welcome to all of you all. It's the biggest rivalry that we're talking about, India versus Pakistan in world cricket. Eternal rivals, huge games, most watched games, most anticipated game in the T20 World Cup. India versus Pakistan. They play their opening match on the 23rd of October. That's this Sunday. But how have these two teams done in the last 1 year since the last World Cup? That's what we're discussing. How do the numbers stack up? How have their players done? Who have been their top performers last year and this year? And what can we expect from the two teams? Who are the favorites this time around? We've already seen India play Pakistan twice this year in the Asia Cup, and one has won one game, the other has won the other. So it's one game each out of the two that these two teams have played. But World Cup pressure is different. It's being played in Australia. What can we expect? Ashok Malhotra joins me here, former Indian cricketer, former selector, to talk about India-Pakistan rivalry. We spoke a lot about it during the Asia Cup, but a World Cup is just different, sir. Now it's the world, the best in the world getting together, and yet India are playing their opening game against Pakistan, which comes with a different kind of pressure because it's the opening game. You want to get the momentum right away, but you're also playing your eternal rivals. How are you seeing this game?
It's a huge game, Neha, because people talk about Australia-England rivalry, the Ashes, but there's no bigger game than India-Pakistan. Believe you me. And not to forget, the expatriates all over the world are watching keenly. They are friends otherwise, but the moment India-Pakistan game starts, they start saying, we will win, or who will win, and whichever team will. Those people get the bragging rights for a year till the next game happens. So it is very, very big. And not to forget India-Pakistan. Nobody wants to lose. It's a kind of a war. Believe you me, we say, cricket unites nation. It's a cricket diplomacy which helps both the nations. It does. But when India-Pakistan game starts, then everything goes out of the window. It is almost a war. It's a war without guns. It's a war with bat and ball. And nobody wants to give an end. Whatever the captains say, they say diplomatically, oh, it's just another game. That's all rubbish. Believe you me, it is all rubbish because they know the pressure is on them. It is a huge pressure. If Rohit Sharma today say, oh, it is another game. No, it is not. You got to win this game. Everybody is rooting for you to win this game. And whether you win the World Cup or not, for both the nations. But if you beat each other, if Pakistan beats India or India beats Pakistan, you almost won the World Cup. Then World Cup takes a back seat. But the moment you lose, all hell breaks loose in respective countries, and that is how important this game.
Now, last time when India played Pakistan in the T20 World Cup, Pakistan beat India emphatically. But how do the numbers stack up overall? Well, if you look at the numbers overall, India have the advantage here because India have a better record. I mean, that one game that Pakistan won in the last World Cup is the only one, in fact, that Pakistan have won against India in a T20 World Cup. So India just too good for them. 6 matches have been played, 6 T20 internationals, and India won 4. Pakistan just won, the one that they won by 10 wickets, and the last one in the last World Cup. One match was tied, and I'm sure Ashok Malhotra remembers that match, which was in the inaugural edition of the T20 World Cup, sir, where India won in a bowl-out, which was the first ever bowl-out that we saw. But overall, you look at the numbers, and India miles ahead of Pakistan.
It is, but it is you are as good as your last game. Last game was won by Pakistan, believe you me. So they have kind of an edge. Even in Asia Cup, the last game was won by Pakistan. So they might have an edge. They might think that we can do it. Before that, 90s, it was Pakistan who was ruling over India. But now, after that, 90 till 2015, it was India who was all over Pakistan. But now it is even Stevens. Any side can win. If India has a good batting line, and Pakistan has Rizwan and Babar Azam, who give them a brilliant start, plus their brilliant bowling. So it's even Stevens. And I think early first 6 overs will tell us which way the game is going to go. But the fact is, it is, win all kind of a thing for both the sides. They want to win by hook or by crook. I don't care whether they run out people, whether they do whatever. They don't want to lose the game. But the fact is, as of now, if you ask me, India's top order is a problem thing. And when you talk about Pakistan, the middle order of Pakistan is a problematic for them. And then the bowling. Their bowling is top class. They got world-class bowling. They got brilliant bowlers. Harris Rao, Shai Fredi, Shadab Khan. They were wonderful, wonderful bowlers. When you talk about Indian bowling, especially on medium basis, are found wanting. So it might be, I don't know, is it Pakistan bowling versus Indian batting? We'll wait and watch. Yeah. Or Pakistan middle order versus comparatively weak Indian bowling.
Now, the other thing, sir, is that both these teams also find themselves in a very different situation than what they normally do. And why I'm saying this is that going into this match, they've got an idea of how the other team is playing. They've played each other already twice, where India have won one game, Pakistan have won the other. They know the things that they need to work on. Having said that, how would India be approaching? I mean, especially, how they played in the Asia Cup. What are some of the things that they'll be very mindful of going into this match?
First and foremost, Shaheen Shah, because he brings the ball back into right-handers. We have discussed about it, and that is a lethal delivery as far as both KL and Rohit are concerned. Incoming deliveries, especially from a left-hander, creates problems for both of them, and it has happened time after time. So that is going to be the major issue. That is why I'm saying the first 6 overs, if we get off to a good start, get through Shaheen Shah Afridi's spell, then India has a very, very good chance, because we have got a very strong middle order with Virat at 3, Surya at 4, Hardik at 5, and Dinesh Karthik, the slog over specialist. So we have a whole lot of batting, but the start is very, very vital. Those power play is going to be very, very crucial.
Which then brings me to the next question. In a high-pressure match such as India versus Pakistan, should the openers and India's top order be more conservative? Because you know how things change very quickly if you lose wickets, which is what we saw in the last World Cup as well, that if your top order goes quickly, I mean, yes, Virat Kohli scored a 50 in that match, but KL Rahul, I think India was 6 for 2, earlier on. And from there, you're not able to recover. In a high-pressure match such as India versus Pakistan, should Indian batting be approaching the innings more conservatively, sir?
See, Meha, this kind of a game, you have nerves. Both the sides have nerves. So it takes you 2, 3, 4 overs to settle down. But in 2, 3 overs, if you lose 2 wickets, then clawing your way back is not easy. Although we have got a strong middle order batting, like last time, now we got Surya Kumar Yadav, who can bail us out. We got Hardik Pandya in a different role. He's a much more matured cricketer. And Virat, who is looking to be getting back into form. So we have a guy who can again rebuild if 30 wickets fall. But the fact is, as you very rightly said, the nerve will play a role. India-Pakistan game, it is pressure game. It is a major pressure game for everybody. Be it bowling, even Shaheen Shah Afridi will be feeling the nerves when he's coming into bowl, because he's supposed to pick up early wickets, and he would try hardest when he's coming back from injury. It might be done well in a side game, practice game. Now the real thing starts. How well he bowls, we'll wait and watch. But for India, if they have to win this game, first 6 overs are going to be very, very crucial.
That then brings me to the next question, sir. The good news is that Indian batting is looking good. And we were talking about openers struggling. Through this year, we've spoken about, KL Rahul coming back, first not getting enough game time. Then finally, when he's getting the game time, we're saying, strike rate's a problem with him. Now, finally, he's looking good. We've seen him display all, range of shots in the matches that he's played recently. Rohit Sharma has also got the starts and has actually been scoring a lot of runs, just hasn't been scoring big runs. Virat Kohli is doing well as well. So in that sense, going into this opener, they would be confident because the top order is now getting runs and they've looked good in the recent times. Would you agree?
Mihal, you are spot on. But if you look at most of our games, out of the top three, only one fires. It's never, at least two should fire. If India has to get off to a good start, two out of the three should fire. It's either Rohit fires, then KL Rahul fails. If KL fires, then Virat Kohli fails. So it's something like that. Out of three, only one fires. So somehow they have to find a pace. And as far as Rohit is concerned, he is our Amitabh Bachchan. He is a superstar. We are not looking for him to play the role of a Johnny Lever or somebody, not a can. We want him to be leading from the front. He's the skipper and he should be leading from the front. And like a superstar, or what he is.
Okay, let's also then talk about, sir, this question that we've been asking ourselves for a while, Rishabh Pant versus Dinesh Karthik. Do you believe that there is any chance that Rishabh Pant will find a way to get into the playing 11, or do you think that India will go in with Dinesh Karthik?
It is Dinesh Karthik all the way. Rishabh has got no chance. They have, they're shouting to the rooftops, we don't want Rishabh Pant. We have Dinesh Karthik. The rest of the country, rest of the world is still rooting for Rishabh Pant, but the management wants Dinesh Karthik, and it will be Dinesh Karthik who will be playing the first match.
Okay, the other thing also, sir, is the question of whether India will go in with Ashwin or will they go in with Yuzvendra Chahal. What do you think they look to do against Pakistan? Would they go in with a wrist spinner in Yuzvendra Chahal or maybe try Ravichandran Ashwin?
I think they'll go with Yuzvendra Chahal because Pakistan has got a lot of right-handers. They don't have very many left-handers. Maybe odd left-hander they have. Khushtil or something, whether he plays or not, I don't know. Or Rizwan. So that is, so I would go with the leg spinner. Plus, Yuzvendra Chahal is a wicket taker in the middle order. We need wickets from 6 to 14. We need wickets. So if we pick up 2-3 wickets, then we slow down the run rate. Ashwin will bowl maybe tight, nagging accuracy with his leg cutter, more of leg cutters than off spinner. He might check the flow of runs, but he will not pick up wickets. That is the only drawback Ashwin has. Sure, he can bat a bit, but you're not concerned when you play 5 bowlers. You're not concerned about their batting. You're concerned about their bowling. And as bowling first, I think for me, if I am the coach or captain or a cricket analyst, I would go with Yuzvendra Chahal.
The other thing then, sir, is also about India's bowling. You've talked about it and we've said that in recent times India have struggled, though in the warm-up game they did well in the death overs. So that's a good sign, a positive sign. But Jasprit Bumrah not being there, that's a huge blow. Mohammad Shami coming in, hasn't got enough game time. Doesn't look like, despite the fact that he bowled that brilliant last over in the warm-up game, doesn't look like that he will get a go straight away in the opener. Who will be that bowler who should bowl the 19th over for India?
I think it should be Shami should play. If I am there, because I know he didn't have a game time, but he didn't look like he's rusty or he still needs game time. He bowled flat out. Look, 1 over he bowled and he bowled Yorker with pinpoint accuracy. So if he can do that, then definitely I don't think anybody better. And plus, he has the pace, which all of others lack, be it Bhuvi, be it Harshal, be it Arshdeep Singh. They're not as pacey as Shami. And you need somebody a bit quicker than normal medium pace. And then he can bowl quite well up front. Power play also he can bowl his couple of overs, pick up early wickets. So I think I'll go for it. Instead of Harshal Patel, I might go for Shami. But it is like spoiling the party, breaking the party or gate crashing the party. Because for Rohit Sharma, he's already told people who are going to play. That was before Shami landed in Australia. So I don't know what they're going to do. True. So that is going to be a $1 million question. But I think most of us, most of the country, most of the experts, most of the critics or most of the fans want Shami to play.
Now, what we've also seen is India's death over problems. Yes, I know that's been a concern for them, sir. But India versus Pakistan also ends up being this one match where everybody wants to win. Both teams want to win. You've talked about it. You've said, how it's important. It's winning the World Cup, yes, is important, but beating Pakistan or beating India is just as important, if not more. Keeping that in mind and keeping the pressure that comes with playing a match such as this, do captains go in with a set mind at the toss? I mean, would they decide before the conditions? I mean, would they decide to bat first or bowl first, depending on what they think is the strength of their team? I mean, I don't know. I'm going round and round, but I hope you've understood what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is that will captains want to bat first, because they don't want to have the scoreboard pressure? Or they'll bowl first and because they just think that their team's just good at chasing. So in a match like this, because it's not a regular match, is that something that they think of?
I think if I know the psyche of both the sides will win the toss and put the other side. Because they feel more confident when they have a target up front. Especially in India, they're good with chasing, especially Virat Kohli coming back in form because he's the best chaser in the world. So definitely, as far as India is concerned, definitely win the toss, put them in, because they don't want to face Shine Afridi on a fret. So that is another problem there. So they would like to win the toss, put Pakistan in and chase the target. And even Pakistan might do the same because their track record while chasing, the way Rijwan plays is totally different, and they can outclass Team India because they have strength in the bowling. They will want to contain India and then chase the target.
Pakistan dependent on their openers, Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, both looking good. Mohammad Rizwan's the highest run scorer this year, one of the top ranked batters. How do you think India should be bowling to Mohammad Rizwan?
I think Mohammad Rizwan is a kind of guy who plays more on the onside. Plays off his pads, he swings the bat through the line, plays a slog sweep kind of shots. It's better to bowl him outside the off stump, bowl some out triggers and have slip in place, and where he might nick it because he's not the one who uses his feet very well. But he swings his bat very well. And his bat speed and everything is phenomenal to say the least. And he's a good judge of the length, and he's got a lot of time to play the shot. People talk about Babar Azam. Babar Azam is a orthodox batter. He's not a explosive batsman, whereas Rijwan is an explosive player who doesn't let Babar Azam come under pressure. And in fact, if I may say, he saves Babar Azam, who can play his normal game, play 20 overs, and build a big score for Pakistan.
For Hardik Pandya, sir, obviously a different player from what he was last year in the World Cup. Bowling now, bowling much better, batting very well. Just the way he bowled Pakistan, the way he bounced Pakistan out in that first game at the Asia Cup. Do you see him trying to do the same thing in this match?
Definitely so, because they're bigger crowds. They can't clear it. And they are not very good hookers of the ball. Asian teams, most of the players are not very good hookers of the ball because they're not bouncy tracks in our respective countries, be it Pakistan, be it India. They're not bouncy tracks. So we tend to play off the front foot. We are good drivers of the ball. Short pitch ball is a rate. Certain people play it well, but most of the people tend to struggle. And if you can't hook it properly in Australia, big grounds, you're bound to lose wicket. And this might be the mantra. That is where Hardik Pandya will be more effective.
We've talked about Shaheen Afridi, sir, but also Haris Rauf, who's been bowling well. Shadab Khan, another bowler who is just a smart bowler, knows what to do. Mohammad Nawaz, who changed everything for India in that second game in Asia Cup. He won his team the match. What are you expecting from some of the other bowlers? Because I think this is the worry for every opposition in this World Cup. Pakistan's bowling, it is well balanced. They've got the experience, they've got express pace, they've got everything. They've got good spin options.
Definitely, they've got a wonderful pace attack. We talk about Naseem, we talk about Hasnan Ali, we talk about Mohammad Wasim, we talk about Shaheen Shah Afridi, Haris Rauf, and not to forget the spinners, Nawaz and Shadab. So they've got 7 bowlers to choose from. So, and who all are quick. See, the difference between Indian team and their team is they have got quick bowlers. Be it Naseem, be it Shaheen Shah, Haris Rauf, they all, even Mohammad Wasim or Hasnan Ali is quite sharp with 140 plus. So that is going to be the difference. In Australian wicket, where there's bounce and pace, they might be more effective than our Indian bowlers, Indian medium pacers who rely on a change of pace. So it might not be as effective as they are on turning dead Indian wickets. So that is my cause of worry, because they have a phenomenal bowling attack who can put pressure on Team India.
Now let's talk about the most standout player for India, Surya Kumar Yadav. A lot of expectations on him, sir. And I feel like that's, I mean, everybody wants in India for him to do well. But this World Cup specifically comes with a lot of expectations for Surya Kumar Yadav. How do you see him approaching this World Cup? Because it's very different from what it was in the last World Cup. This World Cup, he's been coming into the tournament, he's been in the form of his life. Expectations are more. People are talking about Surya Kumar Yadav. How will he be approaching this game and this World Cup?
See, if I would be Surya Kumar, I will suggest him to play his normal game. I know the pressure is mounting on him because he's now a number 1 T20 player for us. He's a guy who wins the matches for us. Before that, he was a raid, but now he's a novelty. He's the one whom the entire country is looking towards. They're not looking at Virat or Rohit or KL. They're looking at Surya Kumar Yadav. Everybody's talking about Surya Kumar Yadav, and the pressure definitely mounts. Can he deal with the pressure? For him to be spoken in the same breath as Virat and Rohit and KL is to perform well in this World Cup. This World Cup belongs to Surya Kumar Yadav. If India wins this World Cup, I think Surya will play a major role in it. But for that, he'll have to play his normal game. Don't get overawed. Don't get intimidated by the occasion.
But sir, the big thing is also a rain threat looms large on this this encounter. In fact, on the one tomorrow as well between Australia and New Zealand, that game, hopefully rain stays away, but they're saying 80%, 80 to 90% chances. But things change in Australia, isn't that so?
They do. Like in Melbourne, especially, they say, if it is hot, they say it's very hot. Wait for a minute, wait for 5 minutes. The weather will change. But normally their weather forecast is spot on. But only thing is, if it is 2 points, then the entire group is a wide open. Then anybody can qualify, because then you don't know who plays well against South Africa, who doesn't, who plays badly against South Africa, and don't count out somebody like Netherlands, who are a very capable side, who's shown what they can do with the big boys. So I think if it is 2-2, then it's a very open group. It is called Group of Death, but it will be very open. And good news for India is that Team Sri Lanka is no more in our group; they are in the other group.
Yeah,
so
true.
that is good news for Team India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. Please go ahead, sir. Yes.
So that is it. But still, India-Pakistan game. Even if it is 5 overs game, anything can happen. We still remember the bowl out in 2007, when we beat Pakistan. So anything can happen. Till it is not over, it is not over. So I hope and pray that something comes out of the game, not 2 points, which will not be good for both the sides.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's a sold out match. The tickets have been sold out. I'm sure there are people who've traveled just for this game. And if rain plays spoil sport, then that'll just be disappointing and upsetting for all the fans. This is huge for the fans, sir, right? I mean, the community there, Indian community in Australia, in and around Australia and New Zealand possibly, everybody must be flying down to watch this game, India-Pakistan. You don't see this very often.
Yeah, definitely. When you look at these matches, I mean, a huge stadium like Melbourne, where probably a lakh of people sit there, you feel as the entire India has come down to Australia, or entire Pakistan has come down to Australia. You don't see Australians out there. You only see expatriates. And that is why Indian team is well liked all over the world, because wherever they go, the crowd flocks for them. The expatriates flocks for Team India, and they're the most lovable team. You know, and same with Pakistan, if I may say. And India-Pakistan game, uh, uh, I feel bad. Feel sorry for the people that didn't have the weather report before they bought the ticket, because now buying the ticket, you know. So I hope rain gods stay away. Let the world see India-Pakistan game.
Now, sir, the other thing is that your good friend Sunny Gavaskar has been going around giving advice to Babar Azam. I hope, Babar Azam does not end up scoring a lot of runs against India with that advice. I'm sure you saw that video. Did you see it?
Yeah. See, the problem is Indians are not taking his advice, so he has to go across the border. So that is $1 million question, because our Indians are too big players that they are. So they are not going to somebody like Sunil Gavaskar, who's probably the best player we ever had. So then he have to go across the border. I mean, you give advice to people who take your advice, who want your advice. So that is exactly what has happened, and I hope that his advice doesn't pay off.
Absolutely. But, you just saw the reverence, not just in Babar Azam, but everybody else. There was Saqlain Mushtaq over there, Mohammad Yusuf over there, who was speaking. And what a brilliant player Mohammad Yusuf was. I still remember those, I think, 1,700 odd runs in one calendar year. But thank you so much, Ashok Malhotra, for joining us here once again.
Thank you.
That's it then. Hopefully rain gods are with us and they allow this match, India and Pakistan match, to happen. We'll keep our fingers crossed. You have a good weekend, and goodbye. Thanks for watching.